Then we move on to the final division in the NFC with the NFC West. At number 1 in the NFC and in the NFC West, we have the Seahawks at 14-2. They signed offensive guard Chance Warmack and wide receiver Phillip Dorsett to one-year contracts. They released Tedrick Thompson and tight end Ed Dixon. They signed offensive tackle Brandon Shell. They signed offensive tackle Cedric Obai. They signed offensive tackle Brandon Shell and Cedric Obai, as well as Chance Warmack. The reason I just read those over again is because they got some nice O-line additions. Now, no superstars there, but it's nice to add some depth and to add some nice wiggle room for that offensive line. Now, they got some nice additions in wide receiver Phillip Dorsett, but I feel like it's just the same Seahawks team. And with Metcalf in his second year, they will boom into the number 1 spot in the NFC. I believe they will ride Metcalf to the number 1 spot in the NFC. Metcalf is going to be great next year. Expect him to be one of the best wide receivers, if not the best, in the NFC. Then we move on to the Super Bowl loss 49ers at 12-4, second in the NFC West. They signed wide receiver Travis Benjamin and offensive lineman Tom Compton, but they lost Emmanuel Sanders. But they signed defensive lineman Alex Barrett and offensive lineman Jake Brendel and Jared Jones-Smith, but that does not add up to Emmanuel Sanders. He was a big part of that offense last year in the second half of the season. They kept a lot of the same team around, but they lost a key D lineman and a key wide receiver. The team is good, and it will remain good, but it will not beat out the Seahawks for the lead. Jimmy Garoppolo will make strides. He will continue to develop, but will only remain a good QB. Not a great one, just good. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's a solid quarterback, but he isn't a stardom quarterback. He doesn't have that X factor that you want in your franchise guy. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo's a franchise guy, don't get me wrong. Is he worth the money he's been paid? I don't know. He doesn't seem to have an X factor. Patrick Mahomes has the X factor. He can extend a play and then bomb it down the field 60 yards. Tom Brady has an X factor. He knows what's going to happen before the play starts. You look at Lamar Jackson. He can make a play with his legs. Aaron Rodgers, he can make a play with his legs as well. You look at those types of quarterbacks and you think they have an X factor that makes them worth the money. Does Jimmy Garoppolo have that? Look at his film and tell me. The Rams are at 9-7. They signed offensive lineman Andrew Whitworth to a 3-year contract. They lost Eric Weddle to retirement and Brandon Cooks in a trade. So they didn't play too hot last year. And simply, I don't think they made enough strides to become a better team. Now, they still do have a good chunk of the pieces they had from their Super Bowl run. And frankly, I could see them coming back from a down year to put up a positive record. But their ceiling, I believe, is at 9-7. And I have them right there. I believe in the Rams. They have a good coach. They have a good quarterback. But will they do better than that? I don't think so. Then we move on to last in the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, not a ton of big name moves besides DeAndre Hopkins. The team did not improve enough for me to say that Kyler Murray is going to do much better than last year. I believe that DeAndre Hopkins will definitely help with that, don't get me wrong. And I don't think Kyler is going to be what kills him. I think it's going to be their defense. I think Kyler is going to do pretty solid. He's going to maybe 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, around 9-10 picks. It'll be a solid year for Kyler Murray. But I don't believe he's going to be something amazing just yet. I think he has that potential, but I don't think he's going to be there just yet.